we in this season now of just like, course correcting, assessing as always. We had some discussions about, the brand, the network and all that stuff, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And you had a real good quote about just climbing and the view and stuff like that. And I then, like, right after our conversation, I actually came across another quote that echoed the same point, whatever. And the quote was, the hardest climb gives you the clearest view.
Mm.
So I wanted to like kind of touch on just, experiences you've been through, journeys, obstacles. We can talk about that because I'm sure, anybody that's trying to be better, whether by 1% or you need a lot of progression, that certain times in your season, or your life, or your journey, it's that hardest climb. But oftentimes, what's after that or above that is like, oh shit, like
Absolutely.
all the perspective, clarity, benefits in the world from that, whatever. So I want to let
To
you.
your point, one of the seasons that we've been in, just being transparent with y'all, just thinking about like ways that we can get better. We tried the different variables and different variations of what that could look like, bringing on new team members. Really, that was really the main thing, like to kind of do that. But for us, you know what I'm saying? When I was talking about the whole climb thing, it's like the season. I was telling one of my friends the other day on the phone, I'm like, yo, like what people don't talk about for real, like when you is climbing, and I was saying it to you as well, when you
Mhm.
climbing and you get to a point where it's like you high up off the ground, but you're not at that next level, but your hands is here
Mhm.
and you doing the pull up, right?
Mhm.
To kind of, you don't know what's there yet because you can't see.
Mhm.
And you don't even know, you get to that point where like, damn, like the struggle and the strain and the fight to get there is like, is it worth it? Or can I just like kind of like find my footing and
Mhm.
kind of stay here, right? But that's for it might feel like the most safest thing, but it's not. It's not really safe to just hang on the side of a mountain, right? No, seriously, right? So for me, it was like looking at it, like literally speaking, like, all right, cool, we in this particular position and predicament where we made progress, but we know that there's another level that we want to go to, and we know that we hanging on or whatever the case may be, but we haven't put in the extra work to kind of like pull ourselves up, whatever the
Mhm.
case may be, in order to be able to get that clear view. But yeah, I think that that's a lot of time. That's a lot of where I feel like a lot of people might find yourselves where y'all kind of just like the marathon in the middle.
Mhm.
It's always fun in the beginning where you just hit the ground running. You're doing what you gotta do. You're doing what you gotta do. Then you kind of get to that point where it's like, all right, what does it look like to go from here to here? And then you got to be honest with yourself, ask yourself if that's even your goal. See,
Mhm.
because I feel like one of the main things that I know that a lot of people subconsciously struggle with is being overly ambitious while being lazy.
Mhm.
So it's like you got this big grand vision, but you don't got the work ethic to get it done. But the thing about it is, and that's what makes people envious of other people. You know what I'm saying?
When they
It's like,
have when they have the ambition.
yeah, when they got it, but don't want to put the work in. Cause it's like, damn, you got something that I feel like I should have, but I don't really want to put the work in to go get it. But when you be kind of honest with yourself and you subside your ego and you let that go down, then you can say, okay, what do I really want? And once you get, that's where clarity come from. Cause like, it's nothing that you could do that I want. Cause I know me.
Mhm.
And if you got something that mimics what I want, I can only get inspired by you having it because it's just a realization that I can have it as well in my own right.
Mhm.
But most of the time, people see somebody have something and they want what they got with not being willing to go or do what they had to do to get it. And then they be like, well, why should they have it? But it's like, it's that gap that you're not filling, which is the work ethic.
Right, and then even if they get it, you realize,
Did I even want this shit to begin with?
right,
But it
like,
wasn't for me.
right.
And it's like, that was one of the best and greatest realizations I had. That's why I could be around the richest people, the
Mhm.
smartest people, the most charming, charismatic people, successful as people. None of that matters because I have my own definition of everything that I want.
Mhm.
So my measure and my barometer is only to me and my efforts. Like, you could go into a bunch of case in points where it's like I don't measure myself to others. It's like I literally just be like, all right, well, what can I do? What am I doing? What am I not doing? And what do I want? And that's kind of where that clarity come from. But us being in this season, I feel like we didn't have that goal as a team. I felt like we didn't have no goal on what the next level would look like. We just kind of was coasting.
Mhm.
Like flat out. It's like we on a car on the highway, we haul assing. And like on the way, we got little pit stops where we might, we fuck with y'all shit, but we kind of don't know where we're going.
Mhm.
And then with us kind of, that's why as we talked about first episode being Are You in Alignment? And now this season we kind of getting back to that and getting like more in sync with what that looked like. It made me realize like, oh shit, that's the thing. Like when we came into this, we knew exactly what we were trying to do. And now it's nothing to measure because it's nothing. We wasn't targeting shit. We just kind of were just like just show up and shoot.
Mhm.
Let's show up and make sure we talking. We gonna make sure we giving out the perspective. We gonna make sure we giving people
We're being
guidance
consistent.
and being consistent.
Yeah.
But what is it working toward? Like
Mhm.
the gym. I felt that way in the gym not too long ago. I go to the gym 4 to 5 times a week. But if you don't, I had to give myself specific muscle groups. I'm working on legs and chest. Because I remember when abs was my thing. Like, I got to get abs. I'm doing abs every day. And now when I got the 6-pack, I was like, all right, that shit there. Now it's like, I got to do legs. I got to do chest. And that gave me new motivation because I'm attacking different muscle groups. So I think, not metaphorically speaking, but literally it's like, now that we kind of have an idea on what we want to do, that's where that, once you got direction, that's when you got clarity for sure.
Like